Joining me now is Washington Democratic Congressman Adam Smith, ranking member of the Armed Services Committee. Good to see you again, sir. So the president will hold that press conference shortly. What do you expect to hear from him, or at least what do you hope to hear from him?
Yeah, I don't know what to hear from him, but we're in a very dangerous place right now. This war has been going disastrously. Mike Lawler is not wrong in the sense that there was a plan. It just never was a plan that could lead to the outcome that we need. There was a plan to do a lot of damage to Iran. That certainly was clear. We had good targets. We knew how to hit those targets. We've destroyed a lot of missiles, a lot of drones, a lot of missile launchers, a lot of industrial capacity. But at the end of the day, what has that yielded us? Because the real goal here was to fundamentally change the Iranian regime's behavior, maybe even fundamentally change the Iranian regime itself. And we haven't seen that. The goal is to end their ballistic missile program, end their nuclear program, end their support for terrorists in the region. Not only has that not happened, but now we're having this discussion about having to put boots on the ground to secure the Strait of Hormuz, which wasn't even on the table before this began. We've handed Iran a new lever against us, and that is their control over the strait. So we're in a disastrous place. I expect to hear incoherent rantings that contradict themselves from the president. What I'm hopeful of is that some negotiation is going on that can get a ceasefire and end this war. But by any strategic measurement, this has been a disaster to date in terms of what our real goals are in Iran and in the Middle East.
So let me rephrase the question in that, is there something that, were you to hear it in this upcoming news conference, it would really strike fear for you?
Yeah. Look, I don't believe a single thing that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. All right. And that's not me being just pejorative or angry. That's just factual observation. I mean, he says things that directly contradict themselves, and he has no concern whatsoever for the truth. No, what concerns me is what he's already been saying. What concerns me is anything that gives an indication that he is going to escalate this war further, kill more people, destabilize the Middle East and the global economy, and undermine U.S. standing in the world further. And if he escalates this war, that is exactly what's going to happen, because I listened to the admiral before. I don't know what the heck he was talking about. Yeah, we can put boots on the ground and go extract a service member. That's one person in one place. But the nuclear sites are protected. Karg Island is protected in a way that this service member wasn't in the mountains. Boots on the ground are not going to make a strategic difference in terms of weakening the Iranian regime. They are only going to up the cost of the war and the casualty count for the United States. So I'm very fearful that the president, looking at ways to escalate this, when there are no good options in terms of escalation leading to us actually having any kind of success in this conflict.
And then you have to wonder about diplomacy, sir, because after the president's profanity-filled Easter Sunday comments, the Iranian Foreign Ministry said that negotiation is incompatible with ultimatums and threats of war crimes, and that all attention must be focused on defending the country. How do you see the chances of a diplomatic end to the war at this point?
Well, it seems unlikely. I mean, the president keeps saying, let's keep in mind, the president has been saying since 2017, that Iran is begging him for a deal. All right. So we all know that isn't true, because it's been 9 years since that. So those words don't help. And keep in mind what we're actually hearing. We continue to demand that Iran get rid of their ballistic missile program, their nuclear program, stop support for terrorism. Now, of course, that they open the Strait of Hormuz, which had been open before we started this war. Iran is saying, they want their control over the Strait of Hormuz to basically be codified and recognized, and they want reparations. They want us to pay them for the cost of the war. So the place where we're at in the negotiations and where they're at in the negotiations couldn't possibly be further apart. Now, for all of that, it is possible that we could agree to a ceasefire that doesn't really resolve any of those issues, but at least stops the carnage, stops this from costing more and more, and gives us the chance to hopefully negotiate some settlement. But again, the two sides could not be further apart at this moment, actually further apart than they were before we started this war. Remember, we were negotiating an end to Iran's nuclear program. A lot of people reported that we were reasonably close to it when Israel and the U.S. decided to start this war with the promise, by doing the decapitation strike on Iranian leadership, they seemed to genuinely hope that that would end this regime. And they were completely wrong about that.